When your car breaks down on Central Florida's Expressway, who you gonna call? Well, it ain't Ghostbusters. Although, sometimes that might be an excellent option. I think we can all agree that Central Florida roadways have changed pretty drastically over the years, and the Florida Highway Patrol just doesn't have the time to devote to assisting motorists the way it used to. I mean, what with policing the highways and cleaning up some really big messes. But Florida wants you to know you're not alone out there, and help is only a phone call away. They're called Road Rangers, and they can be a big help, especially to the physically disabled. And to those who might find themselves in, let's say, a precarious location. Because let's face it, no matter what it is or when it happens, it sucks being broken down on the side of the highway. Now, I'm sure you, my audience, is a cut above everybody else because, face it, you watch my videos. So let's take a minute to talk about running out of fuel on the highways. And while I realize there may be extenuating circumstances, for the most part, you shouldn't run out of gas. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that you gotta take some responsibility for your own actions. First rule of thumb, don't ever get on a limited access highway without enough gas. I mean, there's a reason they call them limited access highways. Let's say you're getting on 528 westbound from I-95 and you're headed to I-4 with a limited amount of gas. Don't do it. It's 31 miles to the nearest gas station and there is nothing out there. Instead, head eastbound, 5 miles. Get gas at Industry Road. Just consider that a free tip that you could have gotten from any app that's available for free, like GasBuddy or Drive-O, or even a free one for your car, like Ford Pass. But if the Highway Patrol is not going to be there to help you out, who does that leave? Well, that's going to be the Road Rangers. The Florida Department of Transportation is divided into districts, and each district is responsible for administering its own Road Ranger program. Now in Central Florida, or District 5, not only do we have the FDOT Road Rangers on I-4, both the Turnpike Authority and the Central Florida Expressway Authority have their own Road Rangers, which work different days at different times with different hours. So maybe you'll be lucky and they'll be working when you need them.
In the past, 95 in Brevard and Volusia counties did not have Road Ranger service, but recently this year it was added, and the Road Ranger service is now available Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
But in Central Florida, in addition to I-4, every mile of every toll road is covered by Road Rangers. Just not every hour of every day. Well, what can Road Rangers do? I'm glad you asked.
Here are some things that the Road Rangers can assist you with. If you have a flat tire and a spare, they can change it for you. If you need some air, they can give air in your tire. If you run out of gas, they'll give you about 2 gallons to get to the next gas station. If you're overheating, they can provide water, or if you need oil, they can provide you some oil. What Road Rangers can't do is a major repair on your vehicle or tow your vehicle off the roadway. They can push you off to the side of the road, and also they do keep records. So if you tend to run out of gas the day before payday every week, you're not going to get any free gas.
Although the Department of Transportation runs the Road Ranger program, they really don't have a program in place for you to contact them. That's been turned over to FHP through the STAR FHP program.
When you call FHP at STAR FHP or STAR 347, FHP will need a few things. First is your location, what road you're on, and what mile marker or exit. Please use your GPS if you do not know where you're at, as FHP does not track phone calls like 911. You need to provide FHP the following information: your name, phone number, color and make of your vehicle, whether your vehicle is blocking a lane of traffic or you're able to move to the right shoulder or left shoulder, and what issue you're having with your vehicle.
Let's take a minute to talk about roadside services. Perhaps you're a member of an organization like AAA or MCA or the Good Sam Club. Call them before you call STAR FHP. It just makes sense. You're paying those clubs sometimes over $100 a year. You should take advantage of your membership benefits. But just because you're not a member of these clubs doesn't mean that you don't already have roadside assistance. You may already have a plan as part of another membership. We had a plan with our cell carrier at one time, and it may be part of your insurance coverage. Or maybe you've gotten a new car and they've included roadside assistance. Sometimes even a dealership adds it in there. And remember, if you're renting a car, take some time to download their app. It's their responsibility to keep you going on your trip. Some of them, like the one shown here for Hertz, have a button that you can push right there for roadside assistance, but there might be an extra charge if it's for something like running out of gasoline. That's kind of your responsibility. And speaking of responsibility, I want to take a minute to talk about AAA. Because AAA may give you some false information on the phone, and I don't want you to have to end up paying for it. Because remember, you already pay for AAA if you're a member. AAA has been known to say things like, well, call FHP first. No, call AAA first. I mean, why would you pay for roadside service if they're not going to deliver roadside service? Second, they may tell you, well, they'll call you back with a record company. Don't accept that. Tell them you'll be happy to hold on until they can provide you with the name of the record company and an ETA for that record company. And remind them you're paying for AAA emergency service. So now let's take a couple of minutes to talk about what you should do before you go on vacation. You know, what to check on your car to make sure you'll be okay on your trip. First, and most importantly, are your tires. Make sure all 4 tires are inflated and that they're not too worn out. A big hint here to all you states without a vehicle inspection program, if you can see the steel belts, it's probably time to get new tires. In most new cars, like my Dodge Durango, you can check the tire pressure right on your gauge cluster. It'll tell you what it is without having to get out with that tiny little meter that nobody knows how to read right. While you're in there, check and make sure you got enough gas, and make sure there'll be gas stations along your way. It doesn't matter where you are, it sucks to run out of gas on the side of the highway. Next up, we go under the hood. Check the engine coolant level. Make sure that the coolant is up to the level in the reservoir that it's supposed to be. Also, check for the graininess of the water, because you're going to need good coolant here in Florida. Next up is the engine oil. Make sure that the engine oil is checked when the car is cold, and that the oil shows up between the 2 marks on the dipstick. As long as it's there, you're good. After checking to make sure your belts and hoses aren't frayed or cracked, the last thing we're going to check on is the car's windshield washer fluid. I suggest, coming to Florida, that you get one that specializes in keeping bugs off your window. And since we're talking about windshield wipers in the first place, don't forget to check to make sure your windshield wipers aren't worn out. I don't know who named it the Sunshine State, but they should be flogged. Once you're done checking the windshield wipers, don't forget to check the windshield itself and see if there are any pits or cracks in the window. Because let me tell you, in the heat here in Florida, those pits, well, they're going to play connect the dots real fast. And finally, check all the lights on the outside of the vehicle. Make sure they're all working properly and that they're, well, not obscured by anything. Or you could take it to someplace like Jiffy Lube and have them check all your lights and change your oil and bring all your fluids up to speed. I mean, that's what I'm going to do before we evacuate from this hurricane later today. Florida is a really fun state with a lot of things to see and do that you can't do at every other place. I mean, we have some pretty cool attractions that don't include a mouse or a big sphere that says Universal on it. So if you get the chance, make sure you check out all the other things there are to see and do here in the state of Florida. You'll find it to be a beautiful place that's inspired many paintings and some really cool photography. Check out this guy's website. Florida loves its tourists and they want to take care of them when they come here. And they'd like to see you come back as often as possible. So be careful on the roadways while you're out there and make sure your car is up to speed. But remember, if you do need help, there's always the road rangers. Just dial star FHP. And remember, our state officers are always... Wait, not those state officers. Those state officers. Okay, well, maybe this isn't the best example either, but remember, our state officers are always out there to assist the public. So if you see them out there, slow down, move over, give them enough room to work. They want to go home to their families too, and someday take them on a great vacation to probably anywhere but Florida. Emmy's all set for a road trip. She's got her laptop all warmed up, and when she wakes up, she'll check on your likes and comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, why don't you choose to give it a big thumbs up? Maybe if everybody gives it a big thumbs up and says, please, the hurricane will turn and not hit Florida. I do try to put out new videos every Friday, And if you like these kind of videos, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? But remember, when you do subscribe, don't forget to click on that bell icon. That way you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.